Good morning. Good morning. All of you joining here today in the chapel and on YouTube. I'm Jeanne Mooney, your worship leader for today. We're especially glad to have those of you who may be with us for the first time and hope to see you again. I'd like to remind you, please silence your cell phones or any other devices that make noises at this time. So today we have a guest speaker. Her name is Bonnie Long. She is a stand-in lay speaker this morning in place of our friend Marjorie Spears, who is feeling seriously under the weather. Bonnie will deliver the sermon that Marjorie wrote and fully intended to share with us this morning. Bonnie has been a member of UU Church of Vancouver for about 14 years. Soon after joining, she served a 3-year term as a worship leader and has since enjoyed the honor of occasionally preaching from UUCV's pulpit. She's been gainfully retired, I love that phrase, since 2008, after enjoying the final 10 years of her lifelong teaching career as a business professor at Linfield University. Eastrose Fellowship sits on the occupied territory of the Clackamas Chinook people, who were forcibly displaced from this land to the Grand Ronde Reservation in 1855. We acknowledge the sacrifices endured by the ancestors of this land and that our presence here today is only possible because of the injustices committed against them. We recognize the inherent sovereignty of the Chinook Nation and Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde, who carry on the traditions, history, and legacy held by their ancestors from time immemorial to this day. We seek meaningful relationships with these communities that foster repair. Let's take a moment now and greet each other here today, both in the chapel and online. Please stand and face the cameras by the clock on the back wall and wave hello to our friends online, and then turn to your neighbors and say hello. I know that was kind of loud, but you guys were so joyous. Thank you. For our online guests, if you would like to share a joy or sorrow during that portion of the service, you can do so by entering it in the YouTube chat, and those will be shared with everyone. I also encourage you to identify yourself in the chat so we may better acknowledge your presence with us today. Now we have a responsive call to worship. This is May Your Call Be Awakened by Michelle Lagrave. I will be reading the gold, and you will be reading what's in white. We come to religious community from many paths and with diverse needs. If you have come here seeking comfort, may your pain be soothed. If you have come here looking for answers, may you find new questions. If you have come here seeking purpose, may your call be awakened. If you have come here hoping to build a new way,
may the path open before you.
And now I would like to ask Bonnie to come up to light our chalice. The reading today is from Craig Rowland, I Breathe. As we light this chalice, may each breath remind us of the sacred rhythm of life, the pulse of creation, and the power we hold to shape the world around us. Our opening words will be read by Cynthia this morning.
Thank you, Jeannie. To Bless the Space Between Us by John O'Donohue. There is a quiet light that shines in every heart. It draws no attention to itself, though it is always secretly there. It is what illuminates our minds to see beauty, our desire to seek possibility, and our hearts to love life. Without this subtle quickening, our days would be empty and wearisome, and no horizon would ever awaken our longing. Our passion for life is quietly sustained from somewhere in us that is wedded to the energy and excitement of life. This shy inner light is what enables us to recognize and receive our very presence here as blessing. We enter the world as strangers who all at once become heirs to a harvest of memory, spirit, and dream that has long preceded us and will now enfold, nourish, and sustain us.
Please rise as you are willing and able, in body or spirit, and sing number 208 in the gray hymnal, Every Time I Feel the Spirit. The words will be on the screen.
And we haven't done this one for about 4 years, so maybe some of you won't know it. I'll give you a heads up, it really moves along. I'll play the first little phrase for you, so maybe you'll recognize it.
And now it's story time.
Good morning. Today's story is called Just One Little Light by Kat Ye, illustrated by Isabel Arsenault. It's a story about you and me and all of us. Each of us carries a light inside. It's always there, even when we're having a hard time, when someone else is having a hard time, or when big things are happening in the world. A light can guide us. It can brighten a dark room. It can help us find one another. In RE, we sometimes sing "This Little Light of Mine." We also talk about the great web of existence, how we're all connected, and when we share our light, it grows. This is just one little light. When you find yourself in the dark, the deepest dark, the darkest dark, remind yourself you always have a light. And as you wander, you will wonder how something so small can be enough when everything around you feels so big. But one little light, just one little light, is enough to light the way and reveal what lies in your path. If you are afraid, just take one breath and hold these words safely within. One little light cannot light the whole sky, but it is enough to begin. And when you find yourself still in that dark, that deepest, darkest dark of darks, remind yourself, you always have a light. And still you may wander, and still you may wonder how something so small will ever be enough when your fears are so big. But one little light, just one little light, is enough to light the way and reveal something you never thought you'd find. If you are still afraid, just take one chance and say to yourself once again, one little light cannot light the whole sky, but it is enough to begin. You will remind yourself whenever it's dark that you can always find the light, and you will wander in wonder that something so small was enough to start something so big. For one little light, just one little light, is enough to light the way and reveal how far you've come. And those times you feel afraid, you will still take that leap, knowing you could do it again and again. Because one little light, just one little light, one little light. Your one little light cannot light the whole sky, but it is enough to begin. In our UU faith, we believe that every person has inherent worth and dignity. That light inside each of us is one way that dignity and worth shines through. We are actually going to keep talking about this in RE today. So let's say goodbye to the adults and head back to our classroom to begin. And if the adults along the center aisle will form a bridge, we'll sing the children out.
I invite you now into the quiet time of the service. If you are comfortable, close your eyes, place your feet on the floor, uncross your arms, maybe drop them in your lap. Drop your shoulders, take a very big inhale, and exhale, big sigh. Let's do that again. Then begin your intentional breathing. 4 beats in slowly through your nose, 5 or 6 beats out through your mouth in a steady rhythm. creating peace, spaciousness, as you move from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, grounded on the earth. Complete another round or two of breathing, and then slowly come back to this space. Please remain seated and sing our gathering song, composed by Mary Reese. The words will be on the screen. Mary will play it through once, and then we'll sing. The reading today is titled The Dream of Now by William Stafford. When you wake to the dream of now, from night and its other dream, you carry day out of the dark like a flame. When spring comes north and flowers unfold from earth and its even sleep, you lift summer on with your breath, lest it be lost ever so deep. Your life you live by the light you find, and follow it on as well as you can, carrying through darkness wherever you go, your one little fire that will start again.
Everything starts with light. In the Hebrew Bible, at the beginning of the book of Genesis, God says, "Let there be light," and there is light. A few verses later, God creates flora and fauna, and finally, humankind. In more scientific terms, and here I quote from the internet, the source of all knowledge, during the first 3 minutes of the universe, the light elements were born during a process known as a Big Bang nucleosynthesis. This set loose the initial flash of light created during the Big Bang, which is detectable today as cosmic microwave background radiation. So, I don't pretend to fully understand this description, but apparently light was born within hundreds of thousands of years of the Big Bang, a mere blip in cosmic time. A few billion years later, flora and fauna, and finally, humankind, appeared on the scene. Whether you prefer the lens of metaphor and poetry, or the lens of science, or a bit of both, it's clear that light was present long before humans walked the earth. Indeed, it was one of the necessary precursors of our existence. But beyond its importance to our very survival, light has a robust symbolic presence in human culture as a representation of life, of wisdom, of the mystery that some of us call the divine or God. It's woven as metaphor into the fiber of our lives. The lighting of candles accompanies many religious rituals. It is, for instance, there in our chalice lighting. Hindus celebrate Diwali. During this festival, millions of lights are burned on rooftops and around buildings in celebration of the triumph of light over darkness. In Christian iconography, saints are depicted with halos of light around their heads as they glow from within. The light repeatedly shows up as a symbolic motif in human speech, often, but not always, in religious context. Spiritual leaders speak in the language of light. The Buddha, in admonishing his followers to seek wisdom within, advised them to be lamps unto themselves. Jesus told his followers not to hide their light under a bushel, but to let it shine before others. We ordinary mortals say things such as, "I saw the light dawned on me," and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. When you are in need of support or healing, a Quaker will hold you in the light. When we get a little too tense or overly serious about something, a friend might suggest that we lighten up. Some of us use the salutation namaste, one translation of which is, "The light in me bows to the light in you." And then there is the song we sometimes sing on Sunday morning. You can guess what it is. This little light of mine, join me, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. We'll do more of that later. What is this light that we're singing about? If you've thought about it at all, you probably each have a slightly different take on the meaning. Today, I'm going to talk about what this song means for me. That's for Marjorie and me. And I'm not going to talk about science, so please indulge me as I seek understanding through the language of metaphor. There is, I believe, a light within each of us. We know this light when we see it in others. I can see it, for instance, in the Dalai Lama. His light shines brightly despite the hardships he and his people have suffered. Those who have recently been following the Venerable Monk's Walk for Peace have surely recognized some of the Dalai Lama's light emanating from his follower, the Venerable Bhikkhu Panana Kara. I can see it in someone who is fully engaged with a person or a pet or activity that is dear to her. It is often visible in the faces of parents greeting their newborn for the first time. And sometimes I see it in the dying people I visit as a hospice volunteer. Everything else is falling away, burned off, but the light within is there. And what was it that drew people to Jesus, to the Buddha? These exemplary feelings fully embodied their own light. They were enlightened. They were touched with transcendence, and those around them could see it. They wanted to be close to them. What about us? In order to shine our lights, we have to recognize that they are there. I like to think of the light within each of us as a pilot light. In case anyone's not familiar with the term, a pilot light is a small flame that's used to light a larger flame, such as the pilot light on a gas stove. The important thing about a pilot light is that it's always burning, always available. Our pilot light represents our little piece of the divine. You may prefer Buddha, nature, Christ consciousness, or in wordier UU terms, the interdependent web of which we are all a part. Whatever language you may choose for the divine, I'll bet you can relate to that spark within each of us. In the Taoist terms that resonate for me, we come from and return to the whole, the great unfolding, and we carry a piece of that whole within us. So for me, the pilot light within us represents our little piece of and connection to the divine whole from which we all come. Because a pilot light burns low, it's possible for us to go through our days without noticing this light within. We may entirely forget that it's there. It's lost in busyness, worry, and distraction. We may forget that we are part of and carry a piece of something much larger than ourselves. We may forget that there is much more to the mystery surrounding our lives than our separate egos and the stories they tell us. The poet William Wordsworth addressed this forgetfulness in his Ode on Intimations of Immortality from Recollections of Early Childhood, or, as this mouthful is usually known, the Intimations Ode. There, he wrote that at birth, we become, quote, not in entire forgetfulness, not in utter nakedness, but trailing clouds of glory from God, who is our home. Trailing clouds of glory. Isn't that a lovely image? Wordsworth goes on to describe how we keep sight of the light during our childhoods. Shades of the prison house begin to close upon this growing boy, but he beholds the light, and whence it flows, he sees it in his joy. The youth who daily farther from the east must travel still is nature's priest, and by the vision splendid is on his way attended. Following this hopeful image of youth resisting the prison house of adult cares and the concerns of the world, Wordsworth sadly observes, "At length the man perceives it die away and fade into the light of common day." And yet, even as he laments the prison house, the loss of the divine light, Wordsworth sees cause for celebration. O joy that in our embers is something that doth live, that nature yet remembers what was so fugitive. For me, that something in our embers is our pilot light, our reminder of the larger whole of which we are a part. In order to make use of this light, to let it shine, I think we must do three things. We must recognize and remember the light within, we must tend it, and we must share it. So how do we recognize and remember the pilot light that always burns within us? I think for most of us, that requires quiet and stillness. Will you try something with me for a moment? Please close your eyes again as you did during the silence time. Settle in. Take a few deep, slow breaths. Now imagine the light within. Where do you see it? Where do you feel it? Maybe it's in your heart or your solar plexus. Maybe you can feel it radiate throughout your whole being. I hope you were able to envision your pilot light during this moment of peace. If this didn't work for you, if you were distracted or bored, I would encourage you to try again when you're alone. I think that once we can find the light in stillness, we are better able to remember and find it in the middle of the noise and busyness of our lives. After we have recognized our pilot light, the next step is to use it to ignite and tend a larger flame within us. How do we do this? Well, this will be different for each of us. I have a friend who tends her light by climbing mountains. For me, it's immersing myself in my garden, writing, spending time alone. I don't know what's good for you. Maybe it's hang gliding, or prayer, or meditation. Whatever it is, please keep doing it. Tend your precious flame. When we are fully ourselves, I believe we are both feeding the light within and feeding from it. For example, when we tend our flame, it feeds our creativity. Emily Dickinson said, phosphorescence. Now, there's a word to lift your hat to, and to find that phosphorescence, that light within, that's the genius behind poetry, she says. Perhaps it is the genius behind every creative or worthwhile thing that we do. After locating, tending, and taking strength from our inner light, it's time to use it for others. I don't believe our pilot light is for our own personal benefit alone. Not only is it the light that keeps alive our flame, but it also acts as a pilot in another way, guiding us forward on our path, if only we will follow where it leads. And I'm pretty sure it will often lead us in the direction of others, asking us to share our flames. It may take courage to follow our light where it leads us. What if it's guiding us somewhere we don't feel prepared to go? What if it's asking something of us that we don't feel ready to do? Will we ignore the flame? Will we allow our pilot light to burn quietly within, declining to use it to light the flame that will strengthen and guide us? Will we miss the opportunity to take courage from the light within and follow it to our work for others in the world? I think we can draw courage from the very light that challenges our courage. I think we can draw courage from the very light that challenges our courage. I believe that if we take strength from our light and follow it where it leads us, our lives will unfold with integrity. We will remember that our light is one of many that we are indeed connected to in that intricate web of life. And as part of that web, our light matters and is worth sharing, even if it scares us to do so. Recently, my light has been guiding me to stand up for those who are threatened by ICE, to attend protests, to speak up. I'm not going to pretend this doesn't frighten me. It does. But there are those who have so much more to fear than I. So I will shine my light for them. Maybe you think you have no light to share. You've been wounded physically or spiritually. You think your pilot light is out or is too dim to ignite a flame worth sharing. Is it true that there may be times? It is true, there may be times when our energy is so low that it's all we can do to wrap ourselves around our pilot light and wait until we are ready to use it to ignite and fan the flame of our gifts. But I don't think it is ever true that our pilot light goes out. And I don't believe that our woundedness prevents us from owning and sharing our light. Most of you know these lines from the late, great Leonard Cohen. Ring the bell that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. What if the light goes both ways? What if the crack is also how the light gets out? If you think about it, isn't it often our woundedness that opens our hearts and gives rise to the compassion that will lead us to shine our lights for others? None of us gets out of this life without being tested and pounded by our experiences. But it's this very pounding that softens us and allows our light to shine through our thinned and cracked exteriors, outward to others. Wounds or no, our little lights can and will shine. William Stafford understood this when he penned the poem that Jeanne read earlier. The last lines of that poem bear repeating here. Your life you live by the light you find, and follow it on as well as you can, carrying through darkness wherever you go, your one little fire that will start again. In seeking the courage to find and follow our little fires, we might remember that in the middle of the last century, this little light of mine was an anthem of the civil rights movement. When we sing the words of this song, we would do well to hear it for what it was for those who made up this movement. A song of radical defiance and courage. The people in this movement refused to hide their lights. Indeed, they shone their lights in life-threatening situations. If they could do this, can we have the courage to follow our light's lead and to shine them when they are most needed? Can we remember to tend and shine our lights, not only for ourselves, but for the benefit of others? Can we shine our lights for those too weak or sick or discouraged to tend their own? And can we allow others to shine their lights for us when we are too weary to shine our own? I think we can. I think we should. May it be so. Namaste. And now please rise as you are able and join me in singing this little light of mine. And while you're singing, see if you can really feel your light within. If you're wanting to use the gray hymnal, it's number 118.
And now it's time for our offering. Could I have a couple volunteers? Katie, thank you. And Karen, thank you. We share half of the money collected each week with a local organization doing good works in the community. Snowcap Community Charities is our Sharing the Bounty partner from September through the end of this month. Eastrose has a long relationship with Snowcap. We are one of 25 local churches that founded Snowcap in 1967 to address the needs of East Multnomah County residents. Snowcap helps with food, clothing, personal care items, and needs for infants. We look to deepen our partnership with Snowcap over the next months, at the end of this month. If you are attending online, you may donate by visiting our website and clicking the donate button, or you may scan the QR code on the screen. If you are here for the first time, we invite you to let the basket pass and truly be our guest. The gifts for the congregation will now be most gratefully received. Please remain seated and sing our song of gratitude, number 1010 in the teal hymnal, We Give Thanks. And the words will be on the screen. The chalice. And the reading I have for this is called Delighted and Renewed by Rebecca Savage. As we come to the end of service, may you depart from our time together, buoyed by the spirit of life, delighted by the warmth of our gathering, and renewed in soul and mind. As we extinguish the flame of our chalice, may its lingering spark be carried in your heart until we are together again. And I have a couple announcements. Thank you. After services, please join the group making PIRC bracelets. The group meets in a small room off the Thatcher Room. PIRC stands for Portland Immigrant Rights Coalition. And this is an announcement from Georgianne. And another announcement I have is from Jean Wygant, which I can do unless you want to. Okay.
I shared this information real quickly, so I thought it'd be easy with Jean, so I thought it'd be easier if I did it. Last week, some kind soul donated 2 bags of coffee to the church. They are unground coffee beans. So, and I took it back to Costco. No, they didn't grind it. They couldn't exchange it without a receipt, da-da-da-da. If anybody has a nice hearty coffee grinder and would be willing to grind this coffee, please see me after church.
Do you want to come up for the unison benediction, Bonnie? Or do you want to stay there? Please join me in the unison. Oh, what, there's a flag on the play.
I have a number of announcements. First is a reminder, this Friday is Blingo Bingo. If you bought tickets at the fundraiser we had a few months back, bring your tickets at 6 p.m. The doors open at 6, games start at 6:30, and it's led by professional bingo caller Vicky DeTall. Email her, her email address is in Petals, or come see me. Second thing is, speaking of coffee, our coffee, we can always use folks to clean up in the kitchen after coffee service. Karen Munoz gets a gold star for how often she volunteers to do that. And today she's being our best friend by staying home with a nasty cold. So if someone can help out today with coffee cleanup, that would be so wonderful. Today, starting at 7:30, there's a trout fundraiser at the Gap Pantry. That's a food pantry that I've supported and has supported me for several years. They have, every week they provide bagged groceries to folks who can get to them, and then bring hundreds of meals directly to the homeless who can't get to them. This weekend at 7:30 is their largest fundraiser. It is a Troutapalooza starting at 7:30 until the fresh fish are gone. The fish are from the Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show. And bring your cooler, pay $30 per family for all the fresh trout you can carry out of there. The address is in Petals, it's on the corkboard, or come see me. They are amazing people, amazing, amazing people. And this is a homegrown effort, literally out of their home. They're just the most sincere and dedicated people. The alarm code is changing. The common code that everybody uses is no longer going to be the common code, because we need to know who's coming in and out. If you haven't chosen your 4-digit code already, come see me, leave me a voicemail. I have some voicemails to catch up on, some emails to catch up on, but we need to get our own individual codes. Linda, did you want to make an announcement for you? Linda Shaldock, should I make your announcement? Okay. After more than a decade, Linda Shaldock is gracefully passing the baton for organizing the friendship dinners. For years and years, these dinners have been a wonderful opportunity to get to know other East Rosarians at potluck dinners in private homes 4 times a year. Linda is happy to help East Rose's next volunteer get started, and she looks forward to attending the dinners as a true guest. Okay, and then my last one. I've never had so many. In this room, we call this room the chapel. In this room, after service, there will be a private meeting. These signs will be on the door saying it is a closed meeting. That means it's a closed meeting. So it's not spirited conversations. So just heads up.
Hi, I'm April, and I don't drink coffee. How many of you like to drink coffee after service? Okay, I've been making your coffee. You should be thankful that you're not poisoned. But I just show up, there's nothing, nobody signed up for it. Please sign up to make coffee. I will teach you. There are several other people who know how to do it also. Very clear instructions that Ralph and Ann put together. So, otherwise, there may not be coffee. How sad. I'm sorry.
Oh, you have an announcement? Okay, and we have an announcement from Mary.
A couple of things. See all these flowers up here? Every single one of them is fake. We could use some real flower sign-ups. So think about it. Just show up, you know. We'll be glad to take whatever comes in the door as long as it's fresh and pretty. And then the other thing is Easter is April 5th, and the choir is going to be singing on that day. It is not too late to join the choir. Last Monday night, attendance was really sparse, and I thought Tyler looked so sad about that. So new people would be wonderful. We're singing some really pretty things. So think about it. Monday nights, 6 o'clock.
Okay. If everyone could join me now in our unison benediction. It's on the screen. Go out into the world in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return to no peace, evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all beings. The service has ended. It's now time for social time, coffee, and conversation in the Thatcher Room. Go in peace. Thank you.